Hello, everyone. We are back after a week off. Welcome to the ATL Sports HQ live show, the show for the fans, by the fans, episode 22. I'm Phil Beasley, better known as underscore ATL Phil on Twitter and Instagram.
I'm Derek Clemens. You can follow me on Twitter at Derek Clemens.
Clark Morrison at ATL Crap Sandwich.
I'm Brett Anderson and at Brett_A27.
Yes, that man is driving, and he does have horses in the back. He's headed to his farm right now. We tried to give him an extra 15 minutes, but it had to go on. But thanks for joining us here this evening. Make sure you check out our site, atlsportshq.com, and also find us on Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram. We're also on iTunes and anywhere that podcast can be found. Make sure you upvote us and subscribe, give us 5 stars, and let your friend know about us. Tell us, spread the word, and also come join us. We're looking for writers. We're looking for people to come guest on this very show here. And any suggestions or anything you think that we could do better, let us know. So we're definitely looking for you to come join us. Let's build this into the empire for Atlanta sports. Also, we're going to be having a little 3-on-3 tournament coming up in June. So be on the lookout for that. I'll have more information on that this coming week. I know I said that like 3 weeks ago, but for real this time, I will have some more on that this week. But let's jump right into it. The Final Four is going on this weekend, and championship game tomorrow. Virginia survived yesterday 63-62 in a controversial finish. Auburn's magical run came to an end. It was kind of, we see Clark, he's not too happy about this, but it was a controversial and questionable foul call. I thought it was clearly a foul at the end, but there was also the double dribble or not. But let's go around the horn. Did you guys think that was a foul at the end?
You want me to start? Okay. Yeah, that was that was definitely a foul. He never gave him room to land, and then he hit his leg. And he never, Kyle Guy never stuck his leg out and initiated the contact. So it was definitely a foul, but they did miss that double dribble, which really cost them. And I know Clark's going through it with him being an Auburn fan. So let's see what he has to say about it.
Yeah, I mean, there was people at Toomer's Corner ready to roll the trees, fully in the thought that we had just won the game. They had no idea. They ran out. they went to go do the thing, and they found out later that not only was the game not over because the foul was called, but we also lost by 1 point, and that's a devastating a loss as you can take. And I'll tell you, the foul call at the end, 100%. I mean, by the letter of the law, that's a foul. The explanation by Gene Steratore at the end of the game on why and how that's called, I mean, the ref is standing right there, is because when he went to contest the shot, his feet didn't land back in the immediate vicinity of where he, kind of lifted off the court or whatever. He went forward into the guy and initiated contact, and that's foul. And I get that. The one that burned me was like clearly in the backcourt, the ball went off his foot. He picked it up and initiated the dribble again. That's a double dribble. It's cut and dry. Like, that's the one that bothered me. Like, but at the same time, the difference in this game, obviously I had the roller coaster of emotions. I'm over it now. Auburn played their asses off. So did Virginia. And the difference in this game was just Virginia had the last possession there. And, we missed, we were 1 of 2 in a critical free throw situation with Parker, one of our best free throw shooters, and Kyle Guy nailed all 3 of them, and I give him kudos, man. There's no more of a bigger pressure cooker you can be in as a collegiate athlete than to be standing on the line there and making all 3 of your free throws gives your team the lead with 0.6 seconds remaining. So, kudos to them, and I hate to tell them they're about to get housed by Texas Tech, but I don't know that they're going to be able to survive Texas Tech. If they thought Auburn was a struggle, they're going to be in for some real hurt with Texas Tech because I mean, if we'd have just shot the ball better, we would have been fine. But we couldn't get the three, and we were down Okiki. So, and he's our biggest inside presence. So, I mean, kudos to both teams. A hell of a game. Great coaching. Great defense. Everything was contested. Everything was difficult. It was whoever's going to have the last possession is going to have the game, and it came down to that with a 1-point loss there in Minnesota. I think they were playing. So.
Yeah, not only did he sink those free throws in a very contentious environment, it wasn't a regular, 15, 20,000 people basketball stadium. This is in the middle of a 70,000 seat football stadium where your depth perception is greatly thrown off too. So shout out to him for making those big free throws. But yeah, absolutely.
Hey, he didn't even have a good night.
Yeah.
Jerome is the one that stepped up for them and really had a great night. And he really took advantage of the mismatch. Auburn couldn't find a defender for Jerome because of his length. And, we have shorter point guards. Parker, they just could not defend him, and he took advantage of that. And I mean, like I said, kudos to them. And then Kyle Guy, I'll tell you what, man, that corner three was a killer too. That Guy drained in the waning seconds there. It reminded me of the Nova win from a couple years ago. So yeah, I mean, it was just, damn, it was a tough one, man. It was. It's hard. I'm still dealing with it right now.
A fantastic basketball game down the stretch. But I definitely, like I said, it was definitely a foul. But you hate to see, you hate the what if to come up, because what if they did call that double dribble? We could be talking about a totally different situation here. In the future.
But you know what though? That's always going to happen in basketball because of the way that the last couple of seconds go. I mean, 10 seconds in a basketball game is 30 minutes. Sometimes it's just ridiculous. You could take a timeout like we did in between his second and third free throw attempt. I mean, that's another thing. Kudos to him again, like coming back from a TV timeout to drain the last one. I don't know that I could do that. I mean, and free throws are free. I don't shoot like Shaq or anything, but nah, I don't know that I can make that.
In the future, I might want to see some kind of coaches challenge that they're able to do in the last minute or so, especially when you're talking about a game of this magnitude and when there's a clear missed call like that. I don't know.
Let me ask you a question. How do you feel about men's basketball moving to 4 quarters vice 2 halves, and then doing, like you said, the 1 minute for each one?
Why not? Why not? The women's college game moved to 4
I thought it moved really smooth. It looked great.
Yeah. High school, I don't know about other states. I know Georgia's 4 quarters.
Yeah, I'm thinking most are 4 quarters.
Yeah. So speaking of Georgia high school basketball, please let me know that shot clock. But that's a whole nother story. My goodness, it can get tough sometimes. But it just what a roller coaster. What a roller coaster there at the end. It looked like both teams had it sealed in the last 3 minutes at different points. But Brett, you're rolling through the woods. We got you here.
I am for real in the woods. If y'all can still hear me.
What's your thing? Was that a foul there at the end?
Yeah, it was a foul.
There he goes.
Oh man, the horse was gone.
Let him play. Just let him play in that situation. You hear me?
We'll come back to you after you get through the woods.
But yeah, let him play in that situation. All right.
But so that leaves us with 2 out of the 68-team field. The last 2 standing are the Red Raiders and Virginia. The Red Raiders, of course, took care of Sparty 61-51. It was a quiet game for Hawks' potential draftee. Jarrett Culver, he only had 10, 5, and 2. Matt Mooney led the way with 22. I personally wasn't able to catch this game, but I don't know, were you able to, Derek? What stood out for you?
Yeah, I actually saw the tail end of it. Like you said, Culver did. He struggled throughout, just all the way throughout. But, he still had a big impact on the defensive end, which is what I like a lot about his game.
Michigan State did a good job shutting him down.
Yeah, they definitely
focused on him and tried to take him out of the game. But Mooney, man.
Yeah, to me, I think the biggest impact was just Texas Tech's length on the defensive end. They just kind of overmatched them, and Michigan State could really never get going. They made a few runs, and I mean, it was close throughout, and then Texas Tech kind of just ran away with it at the end. But the defense of Texas Tech is, I mean, it's very
legit.
good, and then they can also score the ball. And I mean, they did it without Cover, and I mean, him having another off night is not really likely. So they're going to be a tough team to beat for Virginia.
I think Michigan State kind of showed the only way that you have a chance against Texas Tech apparently in this tournament is to do what they did to Culver. Try to take him out of the game and make somebody else beat you. But the game that Mooney had, I mean, the dude couldn't miss. I've heard it on multiple different avenues, radio, TV. They were saying the basketball goal was just too big for him, and everything was dropping. So, you know, it's just one of those things, man. And Texas Tech's defense, like if you have seen any Auburn games and you thought Auburn's defense is good, Virginia's in for a world of difference when it comes to Texas Tech. They're taller, they're bigger, they're more athletic, and they never quit. Full court press all day.
So who y'all got tomorrow night? Virginia or Texas Tech? I'm gonna go with Texas Tech.
Yep, I got Texas Tech too. Virginia just went through too much trouble with Auburn. I think they wore themselves out to get to the end of that one. I don't think they're going to have enough left for the Red Raiders and how suffocating their defense is. Yeah, I got Texas Tech. Texas Tech might win the whole thing.
I got to go the other way. I think Virginia's going to pull it off. I think the teams that usually end up winning the national championship usually go through those struggles. And, I mean, you've seen they got the foul call at the end of that game. And then to get to the Final Four against Purdue, they got that crazy putback after the
that one was nuts.
So, I mean, stuff like that, stuff's falling into their favor. So I think they're going to be able to pull it out, even though I'd much rather see Texas Tech win because I want to see Jared Cover be successful.
Yeah, Brett, who you got Monday night?
If y'all can still hear me, but I got Virginia too. I pretty much the same thing as Derek. It just seemed Virginia just seems destined to win it this year. So I'm going Virginia.
Yeah, I think
I've never really been, Virginia's been pretty quality for the last several years. I've never been a big believer in them. I don't like their system. I know they say defense wins championships, but I don't enjoy watching them play.
Well, they purposefully move the ball slower than any other team in college. Like,
right.
What are there, like 183 teams or some ridiculous number like that, men's basketball in college?
383.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Yeah, there we go. And they are ranked number one for the slowest as far as, like, ball movement and how much time they eat per shot clock, I guess, attempt or whatever. And it's not even close, apparently. So, yeah, I mean, it's just their brand of basketball is not necessarily fun to watch, but I mean, I got more than I wanted this weekend. So I guess part of me just really wants to see them lose now because I just I don't know. I mean, if Kyle Guy gets hot, they can easily outshoot Texas Tech's defense because Texas Tech kind of keeps you on the perimeter and tries to make them beat them with poor percentage shots. And I don't know. It's going to be a good game, but I really do think Texas Tech might give them all they can handle.
I think the biggest thing that for Virginia to win, I think DeAndre Hunter has to step up. I mean,
he had a terrible game.
He really hasn't played well all tournament. I mean, he's kind of been MIA, and I mean, Kyle Guy's been the leading force, and I mean, I think
Clark too. Clark's been good at pushing the ball.
He has been
moving it on the floor,
running offense, and I mean, for his size, he still can play solid defense, and he's not really much of a liability at the college level yet, but I think Hunter will be the impact for Virginia.
I think Jared Cover has to have a great game for Texas Tech to have any chance in the world. Currently, ESPN has Virginia favored by 1 point, and they have the over-under set at 118.
Yeah, it was 120 this morning. Yeah.
Do you guys think either team will hit 60?
I think it will be in the 60s. I think both teams will have 60s. I think it'll be an ending about probably like 65 to 60, something like that, around those lines.
Yeah, I think it'll be very close to the total score from the Virginia Auburn game, right around 63 a person. I don't know who has maybe like Derek said, 65, 61, somewhere around there. Maybe even another 1-point game. Yeah.
I'm going to take the under. I'm going to go with 55-52 Texas Tech winning. Who are some X factors for you guys?
Yeah, like I said, DeAndre Hunter, I mean, I think he has to step up. And then obviously Cover for Texas Tech. I mean, he has to be the guy that does it all for him, really. I mean, they have very good pieces on that team. So they definitely need other guys to step up. And they have throughout the tournament too. And I mean, their defense is really the X factor, keeping Kyle Guy in check, making sure he doesn't get hot. Because if he gets hot, it's hard to stop him.
I think for me, looking at the matchup, it's more the playmakers on either side are going to kind of cancel each other out. So for me, I think the X factor is really the bench play. And the Red Raiders have had really good bench play throughout this tournament so far. Virginia's had pretty good bench play too, not on display against Auburn. But I think bench plays the X factor and probably gets the job done. So whoever ends up winning has better play off the bench.
And on to our brackets. Ooh, I hope you guys' brackets are doing better than mine.
They're not. They're not.
I don't know. I might be in last place in our ATL HQ bracket, which is actually, I think we have a winner. I don't think anybody can catch him. He has Virginia winning. So of course, if Virginia, he's the only guy in the whole challenge with Virginia winning. Mr. Ken Pond, I'm not sure who exactly that is, but he might be having some Braves tickets headed his way. But yeah, my bracket is absolutely horrible. I had Duke in all four of mine, and then the one I put in my competitive one was completely, I think since the round of 32, completely went off the rails. Does anybody have a good bracket hanging around?
No. I mean, I had Virginia in my Final Four, and that's about it, but I had them losing.
Yep, same here.
I think in my work group challenge one, I have Virginia making it to the final, but I had them losing to Duke, of course. I had
them losing to North Carolina in the Final Four, and yeah, it got me screwed. I just really didn't see it coming from Virginia, and like they've been put on display a couple of different times where they should have lost. I mean, even in the 1 versus 16 matchup, they were playing awful, and they were getting exposed. They were having really bad situational turnovers. They were just playing like freshmen almost, and they are an upper class team. They're not all seniors or anything like the Mercer Bears from a couple years ago that went way too far. But yeah, I don't know, man. I keep waiting for Virginia to fail, I guess, and
I think once they got through that hump of the playing the 16 seed, and I mean the little scare that they had, they got that out of their head after they won, and I think they kind of like turned it around and flipped the switch.
I honestly just to go back to Auburn for one more second to give them a little bit more love. I cannot believe they got through Kansas, Duke, and UNC in back-to-back games.
Yeah, that's like murderers row.
And they destroyed them too. 90 on Duke, beat the hell out of UNC, had their way. I mean, it was just just a hard pill to swallow.
I saw a very interesting rumor. I don't think it had any legitimacy or anything like that, but I saw a rumor that Zion said he had unfinished business at Duke and wanted to come back. Now, I don't believe this whatsoever. Do any of y'all think there's any chance in hell that Zion Williamson comes back for a second year at Duke?
No. There's not a chance. I mean, yeah, there's definitely going to be rumors. I mean, because he's shown his love of playing college basketball at Duke. I mean, he's preached it, but nah, there's no way.
What would he gain from it? I mean, like you said, exactly. I get he said something about unfinished business or whatever, but it's not like he's going to graduate with a degree in 2 years. So that's not going to do anything. And what if, I mean, RJ's still going. So they're going to have to rebuild that team. I mean, Zion's one you want to build a team around for sure. And that helps on the recruiting aspect of things. But no, I don't think there's any credence to that rumor.
Is Brett back?
Yeah, I'm here.
I
You
think,
can hear me?
Yeah,
I think
hear
that
Good.
the sun burning out tonight than Zion Williamson suiting up. You think he's coming back, Brett?
Absolutely not. I mean, I don't know. I forget what the number is for number one pick, but when you get that thrown at you, he's going to be guaranteed number one pick. So you just can't turn that down. Like Clark said, he has nothing to gain for it from a personal standpoint.
Not only that, I bet he's going to have a LeBron-sized Nike deal coming his way too.
Oh, they're throwing a bag at him.
Honestly, I mean, that bag probably was already thrown at him a few years ago, but you know, they got to keep that on the hush.
There was some rumors coming out. I forget who reported it, but
Avenatti,
yeah,
Michael Avenatti. Yeah.
I never really got a chance to look
Oh
into
my
it.
God, he's trying to bring down college basketball as a whole and Nike.
Clout chasing, in my opinion.
Hopefully, next time we see Zion, it's in an Atlanta Hawk uniform in Summer League. So hey, let's pray on that. Speaking of Hawks, the Hawks have had some decent times since last time we were with you. Actually, it's been about 2 weeks we were with you, but we'll pick it up from last Sunday. Trae Young hit another buzzer beater to beat the Bucks in overtime. Man, I mean, what can you say about Trae Young? You know, he's probably honestly, you know, he's probably not going to win Rookie of the Year, but what a fine season, record after record, most 30-10 games, or seventh most 10 assist games as a rookie. Just incredible numbers for the rookie, and in any other year, pretty much he'd be runaway Rookie of the Year. But we have to tip our cap to the guy Luka Doncic in Dallas, who I'd say probably that slow November probably did Trae in. It's just not enough to get him that Rookie of the Year nod. But also this week, the Hawks had another good showing against another playoff team on the road in San Antonio. We now haven't won there since 1997, and somehow I don't even think that's the longest losing streak on the road to the Spurs in the league. And then a masterful team performance Wednesday versus Philadelphia, once again beating another playoff team, and once again another 30-10 game for Mr. Trae Young. And then we went to Disney World on Friday, and
Wasn't there a hurricane stop the game?
I don't know.
Wasn't it? Something happened. It wasn't good.
It needed to be a hurricane of drinks to drown that courtside. Man, I think I might have jinxed us, you know, prior to the game, because of course I was down there in Orlando. But prior to the game, I had a little fun. I was like, you know, do Magic fans refer to this as the house that Dwight built? Because you know that arena opened up during Dwight Howard's prime, and Dwight Howard kind of put them on the map after Shaq and Tracy McGrady and all the great players the Magic have had in their history.
Hardaway.
So I'll tell you this: well, the Magic got the last laugh on multiple levels. The Magic won 149-113, broke all kinds of Magic franchise records. Man, it brought back memories of the Mike Woodson day. Do you guys remember when every time we would go to Orlando, when we had Mike Woodson, we would lose by like 40? Dwight would have 30 and 25, and the Magic would hit like 25 threes and bury us in the first half. Well,
it made them all look like all-stars.
It was kind of like that. And also, the Magic had a little fun at my expense, as I was there by myself with a Hawks jersey. So during the kick, they thought it would be funny to play the song all by myself and display me on the Jumbotron all by myself. So we're gonna get that of, you know, I've been memeified by this show a few times, so we're gonna let you guys decide on the ATL Sports HQ Twitter which is the better meme. So head to that page right now and tell us which which meme is better. It's all fun and games, but they could have gave me a little shout out or a little Magic shirt or something for my pain. But I guess the game was pain enough. But shout out to the Magic. They have a nice arena. So what went wrong that game? Because the Hawks have been playing good for months now. That was our first blowout, I think, since I want to say January 4th versus Milwaukee in a game that was very similar. So what went wrong Friday, Derek?
Everything. No,
Yeah, I was gonna say you had to have a shorter show if you asked what went right.
Because was anything good from the game? I mean, that Justin Anderson move was good. I mean, that's about it. That's all I can really remember. That was.
I think Phil's face is in the back of that. Like, oh, he's like standing up.
You see him stand up in the video.
You can't see me in that video.
But yeah, I mean, it was just all around bad. I mean, that's going to happen. I mean, really surprising it hasn't happened more frequently this season. I mean, it happened to us. I mean, I guess not to that longitude, but it happened a lot to us last season. I mean, we got blown out a lot. But, I mean, it just happens. And, I mean, hey, we just secured the 5th spot in the lottery. So it is what it is.
That's what we needed. So they did what they had to do. I mean,
the Magic came out. They weren't playing any games. They wanted to lock up that playoff spot. I don't think they've quite locked it up yet.
No, they haven't.
Very close. They looked like a playoff team to me. They were moving the ball. They were shooting it with ease. They were defending. The Hawks just, they got down like 27-7 by the first 6 minutes. It was just,
they ended the first quarter. They ended the Magic were up 42-18. That pretty much paints the rest of the picture for you.
They didn't have the energy that night to get back in, and there's going to be nights like that. Even good teams have nights like that. Thankfully, the Magic didn't hit 150 because I might have walked out of there on a stretcher if they did.
I mean, really, the Magic they've pretty much dominated us all season. I mean, they won all 4 matchups, and they really haven't been that close. I mean, I think there was one game where we played them close to the end, but they really have just dominated throughout this season.
They had 3 guys. They had 3 guys on their team with 25 points. That you can't let that happen. The Hawks can't. They played no defense, none whatsoever. And if you ever listen to an interview with Andy Demetra on Josh Pastner, defense takes athleticism, okay? Offense is what takes all the skill. Defense just takes athleticism and effort, and we didn't put any of those 2 things into that game against the Magic, and that's why we lost. On a side note, Vucevic is going to be a free agent at the end of this year, and the Hawks definitely need a number 5. That dude is a double-doubles machine, and he's athletic, and he can move. He also shoots a perimeter 3 a little bit better than Al Horford. So, I don't know, man. I don't know what the Hawks are going to do. There's like a lot of options on the table for me. I think, Phil, you and I kind of talked a little bit about unpopular opinions when it comes to the Hawks. And, I told you, I said, look, I'm going to drop one on you right now. Unpopular opinion, blow it up. If you got a chance to trade John Collins and get rid of Miles Plumlee, get rid of Bays and those contracts, and you can definitely get Zion Williamson in the draft, I say do it. Blow it up. I don't care. I'll take Trae Young and Zion as the next thing that drives me crazy and just puts butts in the seats. And then you go pick up like a free agent. Now that you got Zion, you got a huge draw, brand new arena. I mean, they can say what they want about fan bases. T-Mac needs to shut his mouth, but Atlanta has a fan base, and people want to see a good team. That goes anywhere. If you're winning, you're going to get more butts in the seats. If you're losing, not so much. And you see that in any team, in any sport, given the season, in any state in the United States. So, that's just the way I feel. If the options are there, I go back to what I said the last time I was on the show, and I trust Schlenk to make the right decision given his available options. If those options are not on the table, and he definitely will not get Zion, or it would be more to trade or something like that, then yeah, okay, don't do it. But I trust his judgment in that situation, not to just hang on to something because it worked this year.
Yeah, it's gonna be a very interesting summer. Yeah, I'm really excited and curious, anxious almost to see what happens, man. I can't wait till July 1st. Well, not even July 1st. I can't wait till June 22nd, 3rd, whenever they have the draft this year.
It's a good feeling, though, right? I mean, to be like this close.
Yeah, I haven't felt this way since the summer of. There was another summer we were kind of excited. I think summer of third, whichever year we took the Pacers to 7. I was excited for that summer. Of course, that summer
was that 13.
I believe it was 13. Brett, what are your thoughts?
I missed the game, but it's about looking at the stats. First thing that caught my eye was a 3-point shooting from both teams. I mean, Magic shot nearly 50%, and we shot, was it 25% or something like that? And we shot 39 threes, only made 10. So that's the one thing that stood out to me. But I saw Trae Young, I don't know how it looked from a fan standpoint, but numbers-wise, he had a decent little night. But that's about all I can say from the game.
Yeah, Derek, did you catch that one, or were you out and about?
I mean, I turned it off after I turned it off about the first quarter, and I checked back in, and I looked at it a little bit, then I was like, nah, I'm gonna watch this Thunder and Pistons game.
I'm telling you, there was nothing to be excited. I had a few good conversations with the man next to me. He was a Heat fan, so he was hoping the Hawks would win.
Oh yeah,
so he didn't have a very good night either. But we were in the free food and drinks nights, so hey, who really won? But speaking of the Atlanta Hawks, we just fell 115-107 to the Milwaukee Bucks. Don't ask me how it was that close. I have no clue. I just know that I did not agree with the decision to sit Trae Young and John Collins today, especially Trae Young. He had the chance to go for an 82-82, which is rare, very rare these days in the NBA, let alone by a rookie. And then also that rookie had questions about his durability. Now you have this man, you have Trae Young, has been thrown around, fouled hard all season, and he's still been able to play 30 minutes every night, give you 20 and 10 every night. So I don't agree with the decision. There wasn't too much at stake. I don't want to hear the pick. The magic number for the pick was down to 1. Dallas had 3 games left. We had 2 games left. They would have had to lose out. We would have had to win out to even tie for the 5th spot. So I don't want to hear that either. And also, we have 1 game left with 2 days rest. I don't agree with this decision at all. I think Trae Young should have played. Even if you play him and start him, cut his minutes down to 18, 20 today, that would have been fine with me. I don't agree with the decision to sit him. What about y'all?
I mean, I would have liked to see him play and finish out the year, being able to finish every single game. But I'm not mad at the decision. I mean, that was probably obviously the front office, and it was like, let's get this 5th spot locked up for sure. I mean, the chances of us losing that were very slim, but they probably just wanted to get it locked up. So I guess authority took his hand and made him rest. But I mean, he's done a lot for us. I mean, he deserves a rest if he wanted to. He doesn't seem like a player that would want to sit out, but it is what it is.
I actually I don't see the point in it. If you're gonna cite, rest or whatever, you would have sat him in other games. I mean, you've known for a long time that you're not a playoff contender. You could have sat him in plenty of other games and given him rest. So you didn't do that. You waited to the end of the season.
Mm-hmm. Why bring them in? They brought John Collins and Young when we were down 40 the other night with like 5 minutes to go in the 4th quarter.
Right. That's another thing. That's what I was about to say is, then you bring them in a different game late where it doesn't matter. And so some part of me thinks that if this was kind of a business decision, like, are they just trying to make sure that he stays healthy, or are they thinking, they're going to go a different way based off of draft availability and maybe move him. I don't know. They just want to keep him healthy. I mean, because with what, 2 or 3 games? How many games are left in the season?
Just one.
Just one game. Yeah. Okay. What's the point? Again, you wait till the last 2 games. Is he going to play tomorrow? Because that would be even dumber. Or if he doesn't, then it kind of gives credence to what I said. If it's a business decision,
got to be playing Wednesday, and also it is officially locked up now. There's no reason not to. We know what Jalen Adams is. It's not like we have to evaluate talent behind him. We know what Jalen Adams is, so I don't want to hear that one either. So I think he'll play Wednesday. He better play Wednesday because I will. Well,
that's what I'm saying. If he doesn't, though, does that give credence to the fact that the front office is making a business decision to ensure that he doesn't get injured if they want to use him as trade bait?
Well, we would never. There's a better chance of a meteor striking down this second than trading Trey Young.
Oh yeah, for sure.
What do you think, Derek?
Brett.
No, me. That was me. Yep. Okay. But yeah, it made no sense to me. But yeah, there's one game after this one left in the season, and it made no sense. The rest of them, 2 days off after today, and just made zero sense to me. But I guess I understand. Well, I did not even understand the move, to be honest. So it's pointless. He could have played every game this year, like you said. It would have been real cool for him to do that, but I guess the coaches in the front office had different ideas about that.
Yeah, you want to know the funniest part of all of it? The Hawks almost messed around and won. We only lost by 8. It was about a 3-point game with 2 minutes to go. Shout out Alex Len.
I saw that.
30 points, 8 rebounds, 6 made threes, 1 for 7 from the free throw line. So this man could have messed around and had 40 today. I think he heard us talk. I think he's heard us talking about him. Man, if that man can get in the gym this summer and put some like tack on his hands, he can be a decent center.
He'll be a good little player.
And also, more about Alex Len. You know, he had some good comments about playing with Trey Young the other day. He said, you know, it's very easy to play with Trey Young. So this also another thing to springboard off of. The Hawks are going to be a player in free agency, if not this summer, summers to come. Players want to play with guards like Trey Young. Alex Len on Phoenix, you know, he was very underutilized. But look at Phoenix. Who have their guards been? They've been very shoot-happy guards. You know, Devin Booker, he's a guard, but he's not gonna feed you. He's gonna step out there and take that 35-footer. So I don't know. Let's see. What do y'all want to see Wednesday?
I see Trey Young and John Collins play.
48 minutes each, right?
Oh yeah, Trey, John Collins. I want to see them. I want to see Trey get 50. See if he can get that this year. That'd be nice. But also, just want we kind of carefree game. There's nothing in it for any of us to just watch it, have fun, and just see what the young guys will do again. I want to see. So
I just don't want them to be as flat as they were in the Orlando game. You know, no need in regressing before the start. You know, at the end of the season, the very last game. Like, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep feeding, you know, the way you've been feeding, ball movement. Just try to get Alex Len's hands engaged somehow. Give Herter his opportunities. Let Bays stay on the bench. And, you know, I mean, whatever you do, don't put Miles Plumlee in. That's how I feel.
He ended up having surgery finally after about missing.
Did he?
Yeah.
Another one of those things that doesn't make any damn sense. Why do you wait till now and do it?
Yeah, he sat the whole season, and now we decide, all right, let's give him surgery. Hopefully we can use his finally expiring contract and pair that with something and get that off our books. But I think we have a better chance of just about anything else in the world. But I want to see Trey Young either. I want to see Trey Young either go for 50 or dish out 20 assists. You know, I just that would be a very cool thing to see. But you know, it's crazy that it's over already. You know, it feels like the season just began. It's been a very enjoyable season, especially for me. You know, I came in with absolutely no expectations. Never did I think this team would even approach 30 wins. And
That's always the key, though, right? If you don't have expectations, you're always pleasantly surprised. So,
hey, set expectations on the basement, and you'll never be upset.
yeah, well, I guess that's what we have to look forward to for next year, right? We'll just hope to be in the basement, and then maybe we'll just do better.
Well, people are gonna be expected playoffs, and my thing is, like I said this earlier on my Twitter, I was like, we need to be careful not to place premature expectations on this team next year. Come in with an open mind, come in, hope for growth and development, and if we can challenge for that 8th spot, great. But we can't make that the expectation when we're going to be dealing with a team that 10 players are rookies, sophomores, and third-year players.
One last thing I want to add. Lloyd Pierce is the man. Philly messed up letting that dude go. He is a perfect person to have at the helm for where we're at right now with this rebuild, if you want to call it that.
Definitely a great guy. On to our Atlanta Braves. Since that 0-3 smiling, crying Tiger start, we are 5-1. That late inning magic that we saw oftentimes last year has continued into this year. But there are some glaring holes on this team. Definitely relief pitching.
I hear that Craig Kimbrell still doesn't have a job.
Yeah, will we cave in and sign them, guys?
We need to sign something. This bullpen it's like a circus every night when it comes out there. I mean, Friday night we had Vizcaíno about to give up a grand slam to get in the 9th inning, and then who was it? Minter last night gave up 2 runs. Yep, and then
Sabaka can't find the strike zone. Luke Jackson, ever since the first time he was put out there, finally looks pretty good, and then he looks good now. You can't figure out who you want to be like no and who you want to be like okay. It's awful.
There's no telling, but yeah, Kimbrell's needed, but at this point, I just want another name in the bullpen at this point, just to see who else we can get in there.
Yeah, I don't even know what actually is technically available right now in the free agency, but we went into the last offseason knowing where we needed to upgrade if we wanted to contend with the high-end teams that potentially you'll see in the NLDS, NLCS, and we didn't do it. And really the only thing that you can hope for at this point is that they will sign a guy like Kimbrell, and that flushes out a little bit of the problems. I feel like when you make that statement in the back of your bullpen, that pushes Viz down to a setup guy, Minter down to an old Venters role, Venters down below him, and then you have a long relief, and maybe a guy like Chad Sabatka pitches a little bit better and finds the strike zone when he's not in the wrong situation, because that's what it feels like almost a little bit, that he's coming in the wrong situations where he's not set up for success. And being a young guy, even though he's like 6'8" or whatever and looks like a 40-year-old man, that's probably not the best for him. As far as Minter goes, I think he's probably going to struggle these first couple of starts. You just kind of it's one of those things like when you're watching basketball and stuff and you're seeing a guy struggle that's usually a good perimeter player or something like that, you got to shoot through it. And it's the same way with the bullpen. These guys got to pitch through it. He's coming back from shoulder soreness after a car accident, and he's not used to being injured. It messed with his schedule, messed with his routine. So he's just got to pitch through it, find the strike zone. This I can't be understated. Strike zone. You got to limit the walks. They're killing us. The Viz thing with the bases loaded, I mean, he walked 2 of those guys to help load the bases, I think. So, it's going to be a struggle, but hell, 5-1 on the homestand. That's pretty damn nice. Tiger Woods, y'all.
Shout out Tiger. You need Tiger. Tiger to come out after winning the Masters and throw out the first pitch.
Hopefully, that'll be nice.
Shout out our guy Tiger Woods, still doing it at the age of, what is he now, 40?
He's up there.
For people who don't know, who wants to explain the Tiger situation with the Braves?
Do that one, Clark.
Yeah, sure. Basically what happened is I think one of the guys for talking chop and his name is on the tip of my tongue. I can't remember right now. A couple of years ago, maybe like, God, I guess it was probably like 2014 or something. He found that picture of Tiger Woods. He's younger. It's an older picture, and he's smiling for the camera or whatever, but it looks like he's about to be in tears. And that pretty much for him kind of summed up where the Braves were at through that point in the season, that it was like you smile through the tears or whatever. And, that 3-game skid in Philly, Bryce Harper's out there. It's like just one of those things where you just want to like smile to laugh to keep from crying or whatever. And so somebody suggested that he post that picture, and then all of a sudden we won. And so Braves Twitter, being the glorious bunch of bastards that they are, whenever the Cubs posted the final score and the Braves had won, every single one of those human beings posted that same picture of Tiger Woods. And if you scroll through the Twitter feed, it is, like 1,000+. And it's nothing but just those photos. And it was pissing Cubs fans off, and that kept it going. Then they won again, and then they swept, and then there's Tiger Woods memes with brooms all over them. And then, they started the Marlins series, and we win the first game, and everybody's just sitting around on Braves Twitter waiting for the Marlins to post the final score, and they like wouldn't do it for like 25 minutes or so. And then the Spanish version of the Marlins posted it, and they got hit up for like 350 meme photos in the first 2 minutes or something like that. Then they posted one on the regular Twitter, and then they deleted it and posted it again. So it's just this big old mess. And then, the Marlins beat us last night, so they got us back a little bit, I guess. I think they were posting like something about Phil Mickelson, but nobody cares about the Marlins, and they only have 9 followers, so it didn't really affect anybody. So it's pretty fun. It's pretty cool when things like that happen and you're part of it.
Derek, what y'all got going on in Cincinnati land? Y'all got any?
So like I think they just already quit. I don't even think they play anymore. They started the season off winning a game, and you know what? They haven't won a game since. Unless they won, I don't think they won last night. I think they just lost again today. So yeah, living it up, same old every year.
Yeah, what do y'all think about this season so far? It's hard to get a grasp on it. Do you think they're underperforming? Are they about where you expected them? Are they exceeding your expectations?
You're talking about like the season for MLB overall, or the Braves?
The Braves so far.
I think they're overperforming given their bullpen. It's bad.
Yeah, because
the injury to Brian McCann, that's one thing that can't be overstated. Brian McCann getting injured is a big problem, because something that I noticed over these last couple of starts, the Max Fried perfect game going through 5 innings, and then what's his name last night? Kyle Wright. McCann calls a really good game for these guys, and I think he has a lot to do with the decisions that are made on game planning and things like that for these young guys based off of what he's seeing on these side sessions and warm-ups, even all the way up to pregame. So, hopefully his hamstring injury is not too bad. I think he went on the 10-day today, and just have to keep him close in the bullpen so that he can relay whatever that information is to Alex Jackson, who, in his defense, caught a great game today, received the ball well. I think he called a good game. And if he keeps McCann close to him and can find some offensive power, who knows what might happen. So I don't know. I just wanted to give McCann a shout out because I think he's doing really good with these young guys.
Yeah, what do you think, Brett? How's this season been for you so far?
I think it's gone as about expected, because we knew the bullpen was going to be a problem with no major additions to it, or any additions to it whatsoever. But I'm been real impressed with the bats, and of course I know talk about Dansby Swanson. He's on just swinging the bat real well. He's comfortable at the plate again. So it's going about as I expected from a record standpoint. But I'm impressed with the offense, even though I do want to see a little more from Josh Johnson, but I fear it'll take him a little bit to kind of get in the groove a little bit again. Make sure he is 100% healthy and all that.
Oh, don't tell Tushar that. Donaldson's a waste of money.
I know he's playing some flashing some good leather over there at third base so far this season. So
He's playing awesome defense, and actually, he's hitting the hell out of the ball. He's just hitting the right two people.
Yeah, not finding any holes.
Yeah, but hopefully, I think the Braves. This is about, record-wise, this is about where I thought we would be. But honestly, we're a few swings away from being about like 1-6.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a tightrope. So we'll see what happens. Dansby Swanson, speaking of him, he's been huge this year. I think some people were ready to give up on him if he didn't make a big leap this year. So far, he's done that. What do you think?
It's all about consistency with Dansby. He's had flashes of this kind of stuff, and again, the healthy wrist. Who knows? He worked with Chipper Jones all off season, and that seems to show. His stance is a little different. As a matter of fact, I've heard it a few times, and I even thought it myself. He looks like Chipper Jones standing in the right-hand batter's box quite a bit, and that's from even stance to follow through. So maybe there's something to be said there. I don't know that he's going to end the season with a 300 average, but I think his approach this year is not to try to go for 25 home runs, but more a 300 average with 14 or 15 home runs. But the power's sneaky with him in this comfortable stance. He's mashing it pretty good. And opposite field home runs. He got a game winner today, not a home run. He hit a home run today, but it wasn't the game winner. And then he got a game winning single. So I just want to see some consistency from him. So far, so good. But again, it's really early. Hell, it's not even through one full month yet. So,
and we also. Oh, go ahead, Brett.
I'll say, yeah, I agree with you said, because we saw it in his rookie year. He had, or I guess his first stint up with the Braves, technically, I guess, that he swung the bat really well, and he looked like he was the future shortstop for us for sure. And then, of course, then he had his actual rookie year where he kind of hit a wall or something, and then just couldn't seem to get it figured out a little bit. But now he seems to be back in the groove a little bit now. I swing the bat real well, looks comfortable, and I'm excited for him. I think this is going to be a consistent thing for him down the line this year.
Yeah, so we need to welcome the newest member of the $100 million club, Mr. Ronald Acuna. I think a very good deal for the Braves. It's still a good deal for Ronald Acuna. People are downright accusing the team of stealing. But, it's a long-term deal. You never know what could happen. Financial security for himself and financial flexibility and security for the team as well. So I think it's a win-win for both sides. What do y'all think?
Oh yeah, I felt it's a great deal for sure. Obviously, for many reasons, because Acuna, he's he's showing flashes of being a once in a generation type talent, and he got a chance to be up there with the Mike Trouts of the game today, and of course, it's going to take a few years for him to get to that point. But this is a well-earned investment on both ends. But like I said, it could end up being a steal down about 3 or 4 years. We're looking at this deal like this is the best deal in possibly all sports, because he could be the best player in baseball within about 3 or 4 years of his skill set. So, but who knows? I mean, it works out for both sides, definitely for sure.
Yeah, the Braves did a good job locking him down early. I knew it was coming early, pre-arbitration. I know they didn't want to go through that with him and have to have him in the offseason negotiating, what his market value is and things like that, especially given what they think his talent ceiling is. So good on the Braves there for getting that done well before arbitration. I didn't think they'd do it this season. I thought they'd do it next season or in the offseason, but getting it done early is getting it done early. And, I think basically it's 10 years and a little over $100 million if the two team options go through. Otherwise, it's an 8-year deal. And I fully expect this to not be fully sought. I'm sure that they'll re-extend again in about 4 or 5 years, just to probably get him more along market value and then extend some of those years in the AAV. But it's really, I felt like Acuna was getting fleeced when I first heard it. Like, whoa, not even 200 for the guy. But then also, he hasn't really proven anything. One season, and he's just got a really high ceiling. So I get that too. And he was really happy with it when I saw him on the press conference. He was basically in tears. He was so happy. So, I think it was a fair deal then on both sides, if that's how he feels.
Yeah. So the Alliance of American Football Football League is dead. Rest in peace. Last
What a mess.
There's all kinds of horror stories coming out of people not getting paid and all kinds of things like that, which you never want to see. Players having to find their own way home, deal with their injuries. So, what a horrible ending to the mess. I think the only thing that went right for them was the TV ratings, because that's how much America loves football of any sort. Of course, here in Atlanta, the Legends were awful. I don't think anybody cares that they're gone. But, cities like San Diego, who finally got a taste of football back, and, better supported teams like the Birmingham Iron, the Orlando Apollos, and I don't know, Memphis Express. I don't know if they were supported well, but I'm sure they were supported more than the Atlanta team was. They're gonna feel it a little bit. But does anybody care? Does anybody care that the Alliance of American Football League is gone?
No, not at all. Not at all. I mean, I stopped watching because Atlanta was so bad. It got me so disinterested in it. So, but I mean, I do kind of feel for the players, because that's some of them. That was their last opportunity to show what they can do. So I do kind of feel bad for them, but
they got done so dirty. God,
they did.
Having to pay for your own hotel rooms, find your own flights home. That's some shiesty shit right there.
Mm-hmm.
And like, I was never really bored with Atlanta's version of the AAF anyway, because I thought the Legends, just the jerseys and the colors, like, it was all shitty. Like, I don't know. It just looks so. I mean, it did, man. It just looks so like it looked like secondhand. Like, brought to you by Goodwill. The Atlanta Legends here in their cousin's uniform from 2 years ago. I think, wasn't Starter who made the uniforms? Like, I don't know the last time I saw a Starter jacket, guys. Come on now.
Oh, I haven't Starter jacket.
1998. Oh, wait. Oh, wait, look. There it is. There it is, Phil.
The old school Atlanta Hawks Starter jacket. I think these jackets are probably the only good thing Starter ever made.
That's true. But anyway, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I never really got on board the AAF. It never really consumed any of my time, but I do feel really bad for the players that just got, just done so dirty.
Yeah, so hopefully the players, they get their, I mean, I can't even say sue. Who are you going to sue? So who do you sue when the school has no money? So I don't know. How are we looking out there on the campus of Georgia Tech? By the way, the most beautiful campus on the face of this earth.
That's right.
War Eagle.
I was on Auburn this past week. I said I do love Auburn's campus.
It's gorgeous, especially when there's toilet paper in the trees.
I got to see the premature toilet paper rolling, a little bit of it. So
we got to stop using that word premature on this show, guys. All right, listen, Brett, just give your damn recruiting thing.
All right, but yeah, Tech's recruit is it's taken off. We just got our first ever 5-star, even though it was a transfer. It was a 5-star come out of high school, and I came in Antonius Clayton Jr. It was
wasn't he? Didn't he used to be a JUCO guy or something, or he was a previous 5-star from somewhere else?
No, he went to Florida out of high school. He got hurt.
Oh, that's right. Okay.
He got hurt. So yeah, and we got him over here, and I don't know if he's thinking able to play immediately, but who knows? But with all these, they're just handing out waivers left and right now. But we got him. We got another commit the same day, an offensive lineman commit, and our class is actually depending on where you look, on 247 is actually number 22 in the country for 2020 class, which would be by far the highest we have
crazy.
finished.
Yeah, yeah. You guys haven't been ranked in the top 25 in 10 years.
Oh yeah, it's been since the last time Collins was here, actually, when he was a recruitment coordinator. And then we have our actual real high school commit. We have our highest one of those since 2000, or highest rated defensive back commit, I should say, since 2007 when Morgan Burnett came to us. So we got him from Miles Brooks from Trinity Christian, and so Collins really got. I saw someone say he kind of woke up a sleeping giant in a way. The way he's kind of getting these recruits over here now, and basketball wise, we actually got our first commit for the class, which finally I got one at Santi Price. He's supposed to be a real good, capable shooter, so we'll see how that works out. But yes, things are looking much brighter over there on Tech now than they did a year ago at this time.
They're good. The city's a better place when Georgia Tech is running things.
Mm-hmm.
Atlanta United off this week. Thank God. I needed a break.
So did they.
We got the New England Revolution next week in New England. Look, if we don't win that, I don't know how much longer we're going to see Frank DeBoer. That is a must win, not a must draw. That is a must win.
Do you think
LA.
it's time to panic?
Nah, because the season is so incredibly long, and so many teams make the playoffs in MLS that we could sleepwalk until July and probably be able to sneak into the playoffs. So
yeah, I agree. I mean, I think it's way too early to be pressing the panic button, but this is definitely a must win. They have got to do something, put something on the.
How to score some goals.
They just got to look like a team. They look discombobulated and fractured almost. It's like, it's funny when I hear Frank DeBoer talk too, I start thinking like, man, y'all didn't even know what you had in Tata. Good God Almighty. That dude is so responsible for some of that success, and it's just showing now. I think Frank is a lot responsible for what's going on. I think in the last game they switched from a 4-3-4 to a 4-4-3 or something like that.
Yeah, they switched back to the that brought us much success last year.
Yeah, and they looked a lot smoother there at the end. So I hope he sticks with that. They're
not creating chances, and they're not converting on the chances we get. We have had 2 games. Not to make excuses, we've had 2 games in absolutely deplorable weather. But the other sides have gotten it done, DC and Columbus.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They were both able to score 2 goals apiece, right? So what do? Granted, those are both away games too, so they have the upper hand there. And you say that it's given away, you probably give or take 2 goals in an away game. So, I mean, you just got to start getting it done. Defense didn't look good against the Crew, but then again, nothing did because they were playing on a lake. They just were missing skis.
Man, and shame on the Crew fans. I just want to say that. We ran this huge campaign league-wide, save our Crew, and they're still struggling to bring out 10,000 a game. Come on now, go support your club. But there's been a few hot topics flying around the Twitterverse this week. So if the Hawks get, let's say we end up with the number 2 pick, Ja Morant is widely expected to go number 2. That's a small point guard like Trae Young. So wouldn't it exactly make sense to draft him? Would you trade that number 2 pick? Let's start with you, Derek.
Yeah, I think it would, if the Suns don't get the first pick, because I think the Suns might actually do something right for once, and they might go ahead and just get Morant at the number 1 if they ended up with the number 1 pick. But if we do land at number 2, I think the most logical thing is to trade and try to get other assets because, I mean, Shelik, he runs off of the best player available, and Morant is probably the best player available, but we don't need him on the team. I mean, the type of style that he plays, he couldn't play off ball. And then, I mean, obviously, Trae Young isn't going to play off ball because of how well we've seen him run offense. So it definitely needs to happen if we in with the number 2 pick. So I think we're in a really good situation because, I mean, great. We get the number 1 pick. We have Zion. I mean, that's perfect. And then we get if we get the number 2 pick, I mean, we can do a lot with it because a lot of teams like the Bulls and the Suns are going to want Morant, and they could throw a lot of assets to us and make us even better.
Let me ask just for clarification: are we talking about trading the number 2 pick for other picks from whoever we trade with, or are we talking about the same sort of Trae Young Doncic situation where we pick the pick for him and swap out?
Well, all of them technically are like that since the new league year doesn't start until
Okay.
first. So technically, the other team would still be selecting, just like the other when we traded Jeff Teague for the number 12 pick. The Jazz technically selected Taurean Prince, and then we got him later.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. You know, I've been down this road. I don't know what they're going to do. It doesn't really make sense to take a guy like Ja Morant. I've said this before off air. They're both guys that need the ball in their hands, and you can't have that. You can't have that conflict on the court because it takes away from the ability of what both of them do well, and that's control the court, you know, from their position, and that's what they're supposed to do. That's literally their position. So I don't know that I think they would clash. So if Ja Morant's the number 2 guy, which it by all accounts seems he should be, then yeah, you have to consider trading for sure.
I'll tell you what I would do. I'd call up Washington. I'd be like, look, John Wall ain't coming back next year. You know that, right? Here's the number 2 pick. Here's some expiring contracts. Let us get Bradley Beal. Being like, here's number 2. Here's Bazemore. Here's Plumlee. I don't know, do what you want with him. Let's get Beal down here in Atlanta. That's what I would do. What you think, Brett?
I don't know about that. I'm still having questions about Bradley Beal. But I mean, it wouldn't hurt. But I do say we do get the number 2 pick. I'm trading it for sure because John Morant will be the best player available, but there would also be an argument you can take R.J. Barrett. But I'm just not an R.J. Barrett fan now. For some reason, I rather have Jarrett Culver over R.J. Barrett just from Hawks' standpoint, the best fit for him. But yeah, if we get the number 2 pick, I'd definitely say trade it, get some more assets for the future, and go with that.
Now, Paul Pierce set the world on fire the other day by saying he had a better career than the one and only Dwayne Wade.
Paul, why you got to do that?
And who will unfortunately be playing his last game this week. The Heat are not going to make the playoffs. But does anybody here think that Paul Pierce had a better career than Dwayne Wade? If you do, you're fired. Just know that.
Hell no.
No.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not.
It's not. I don't even think it's a debate. Like,
That's not.
there's
Paul Pierce needs to shut the hell up.
I mean, Paul Pierce was a good player. I mean, he was great.
Yeah,
But
he was.
D Wade, that's just a whole nother story. I mean, he's
Paul
up there
Pierce was
with
also
top
a
guys.
product of the system and the people he was playing around at the time. I mean, Kevin Garnett and Rajon Rondo in his prime. Come on, man. Like, don't even. It's not even. It's bullshit. And it's disrespectful to Dwayne Wade, who's on his way out right now, to even try and make this claim at all. Like,
Paul Pierce, I mean, he's done this multiple times. He said
such a
something
chump,
else.
dude.
He's just so bitter because, I mean, like Draymond said, they don't love you like that. I mean, no one really cared besides Celtics fans when he retired. I mean, it wasn't no big party, no farewell tour, nothing like that. And I think he's just still bitter about that, and he's trying to prove his case.
Yeah, I just think it's Paul Pierce gets a lot of hate, but then he does stuff to bring it on himself.
Yeah, I don't feel bad for him because, I mean, Yeah, he's great, but you're saying stuff like that, so that makes people mad, and then so they're downgrading you. I seen something on Twitter. I mean, this is ridiculous, but someone said that Draymond Green is better than Paul Pierce. So yeah,
Oh, that's where the line has to be.
The line will be drawn right there.
see, yeah, they said
How about what is it?
that their reasoning was that the only thing Paul Pierce is better at than Draymond is scoring the basketball.
That's probably true. But
I don't know that I would.
margin there is wide though.
Yeah.
A wide margin there though. I haven't liked Paul Pierce since that series. I forgot what year it was when he kneeled on the Hawks court, or whatever, around the logo.
2012.
Yeah, I have not liked him since then.
They did all that just to lose the series. You
Yep.
hate to see that.
That's unfortunate.
Oh man.
Good old Paul Pierce. Well, let's get into some questions from the fans. And also, every week, we want you guys to send us your questions. You can DM them to me or Derek or the ATL Sports HQ page or at one of us. You know, just find a way to contact us with your question, and we'll answer it live on air. So, fan asked us, who would you like the Hawks to draft with the Dallas pick if we get it? So likely within the 6 to 9 range. Let's start with you, Derek.
Me personally, if it's somewhere like the 6 to 9, if he falls this far, I would like to get Jarrett Culver because I think we need another wing, a 3, and I mean it's kind of deep this year for wings, and he's has an impact on both sides of the floor, and I think he's a better shooter than most of the 3s that are in like the top 10.
And he can play defense.
Yeah, he's long and can play defense at the NBA level, I think, and he can create his own shot, and I think that's going to be big for the Hawks. Another person I would think would probably be around the 6 to 10. Cameron Reddish, he'll be around there. I think would be solid for the Hawks, and there's a few centers, but I just don't think if the pick is anywhere from the 6 to 10 range. I mean, I don't think that there is enough to take one. I don't think there's someone that stands out that well.
Yeah, I'd go with like DeAndre Hunter, maybe Nasir Little, Cam Reddish. The big man from Texas is kind of.
Yeah, but say Jackson Hayes, I like him.
I don't know.
He's got holes in his game though.
Yeah, it's a big risk to take him that high, I think.
I was going to say it's kind of a high risk, maybe a high reward situation if you take him. I mean, he has a chance to fizzle out in the G League. So he's just got a lot of growing up to do, and he's young, and I don't know, man.
But we're not at that point yet where I think we can just take risks. We need fire guys who can come in here.
We need depth too. Like, don't forget, we can address the depth that the Hawks need from the bench and stuff like that, and slow play these guys in this system with Lloyd Pierce and everybody through the draft. I mean, you can do that. And I agree with what Derek said. Maybe Cam, maybe Jarrett. You just don't know. 6 to 9 is a big range, and you just don't know who's going to fall where. I doubt that Jarrett falls lower than 6. So if we're lower than 6, he's probably not available. Cam, maybe, because he's just not really had a good tournament. And it's kind of a what have you done for me lately situation when you're talking about the NBA draft, because usually it's a lot of one and dones up at the top in the lottery. And so you just don't have a greater body of work to go off of when you're evaluating their talent level. And, what better time to evaluate than when they're playing against top talent, likely likewise seedings and things like that. So, I don't really know. It really depends on where that draft pick falls in that 6 to 9 range. But yeah, I mean, I agree with what you guys are saying. I just don't think I'd take a center. I don't think there's a good enough one.
Yeah,
there's not a lottery center in this draft class.
Yeah, that's
There's
exactly.
boy Bowl. No,
Bowl,
fan.
Manute Bowl son.
Yeah, I'm good on him in the lottery. I mean,
I don't see it.
he's another one of those guys. I mean, he's a project, and it's a bridge.
I don't think he's athletic enough.
Yeah, he's
I don't think he has the body for it. He's going to get beat up down there.
on the defensive end. Yeah, he's not strong enough to guard your typical big like Embiid or some of these guys that's dominating at the 5 position in NBA right now.
It's a different league too. You can't just get boards and then you're a good center. Like you have to do so much more. Like, I mean, Shaq would probably still make it in this league in his prime, but
Absolutely.
not in his later years. I don't think
He wouldn't be able to guard anybody. They would just run. They would run
they're too fast.
Like even like or someone who shoot. They'd even run like a Brook Lopez out there. He wouldn't be able to like stay with him.
Or like what's his name over in OKC? His name is escaping me right now.
Steven Adams.
Yes, thank you. He's playing out of his mind. By the way,
he's great.
He is so athletic for his size, man. He plays like he grew up as a smaller type person, and then just all of a sudden was 7 feet tall or whatever he is. You know what I mean? Like he has quick feet. He's always in the right spot. He has good handle. Even he moves the ball well. He takes a pass well. He's one of the most improved players if I'm giving it out.
He makes a lot of the hustle plays, and I mean, it's just bully ball down there for him.
Who is a current NBA star that would fit great alongside Trae Young and John Collins? I'll go ahead first. I'll say everybody. Any star.
Yeah, I'm not gonna get too picky on the star. We ain't had.
Apparently, we need to be a take what we can get city according to T-Mac. So whatever.
Yeah.
But this kind of goes in line a little bit with what the first question. So where I would not take a number 5 from this draft class, because I don't believe there's a lottery 5 available, someone that does fit, that will be a free agent at the 5 spot, and I said it earlier in the show, is Vucevic. And I would love to have that doubles machine, doubles machine, because he is athletic. He can guard the perimeter. He can shoot from the perimeter. He has a very nice post presence, and he can get the boards. So it would be a good deal. I don't know that he's actually gonna leave Orlando. That's the problem. But if we could get him away from there, man, with a good draft pick, I don't know. I mean, I'd just that'd be nice. I think he would be a great fit. And then obviously, if you could get a guy like KD or something like that, but I think a lot of different things have to change in order for that to happen. Like if you're trading the number 2 pick and John Collins for Zion and all this other kind of stuff, then maybe you have enough star power to bring a guy like KD in here. And then that would be nuts. But I don't think they're there yet for that kind of free agent. And Kyrie's, I don't know what's going on with him in Boston. It just seems like a fractured relationship. And it seems like the same thing that happened in Cleveland, if I'm honest. Like, I felt like when he was in Cleveland, that was LeBron's doing, because LeBron was always treating him like his little brother, and he hated that. That's what I felt. But, that's just from the outside looking in. Now I see it's kind of happening in Boston as well, and they pretty much just – that just looks terrible, that relationship with them and the coach. He basically calls out Brad, whatever his name is, on a daily basis these days. And I don't know. So I don't know what Kyrie's going to do, but I doubt he's coming to Atlanta.
Anyone else on that?
Yeah. I'm never going to talk about it later, but I got to say, I think Klay Thompson is just the perfect fit. He's not a ball-dominant player. Keeps Trae Young have the ball in his hands majority of the time. An elite shooter, have Herter on one side, Young at the top, and you have Klay in the other corner. John Collins setting pick and rolls. I think that'll just be a deadly offense. Another name, I don't know how good of a fit it would be or how realistic it is, but maybe DeAndre Jordan. Great. He's a good defender. He's always getting props for how good of a screener he is.
He's a terrible free throw shooter, though.
Terrible free throw shooter. big time talent. But another lob partner for Trey Young is just throw up some crazy passes to let him just slam it in there. But
He's got really long arms. All he's got to do is
Mhm.
just stand there and put it in.
pretty much. Yep. But yeah, those are two guys. I feel like they'll be the best fits. But of course, you can't. I won't turn down Kevin Durant if he wanted to come up here either. So
Yeah. Now this summer, would the Hawks be better off signing a star or just signing some pieces around our young core that could add some defense? I gotta go with I gotta say if you have a chance to land a star, you have to do it because those chances don't come around every day. Uh, let's say we had the chance to make a trade to land a star, you got to do it. Just like the trade I always reference when talking about trading for stars, like the Harden trade. If you see a situation where a team is in a flimsy situation and they might have to let go of one of their stars, you got to pounce on that. You everything else will figure itself out. Stars don't grow on trees in the NBA, so you got to do what you got to do. But in all likelihood, we will probably be signing some decent pieces, some underrated pieces. I'll reference back to Paul Millsap in 2013. That was a great value signing. And we got to get some dogs. We got to get some defense in here. I don't want to see us giving up 9 points again.
Yeah, I mean, you never, especially from a signing, like free agency standpoint, you're never going to say no to a star. I mean, signing to us. And I mean, really, it's anybody. I mean, there's really no one that you would say no to. But I mean, more likely, like you said, Phil, I mean, I see us getting a few guys that's going to help the team get some more role players that come off the bench. And then hopefully we fill the needed defense throughout the draft and with our hopefully first 2 picks in the lottery. So, yeah, I mean, but if the star wants to come, I mean, we're in a situation finally where we have an opportunity to get a star. I mean, people want to play with Trey, like you said. I mean, we've seen the love that he's gotten and how he's made people better. So we actually have a chance. We have the money to do it. And I mean, we really don't have a huge name, so a star could go there and be the face of the team, sort of. So I think we have a chance.
This question's actually a little difficult for me because it kind of is asking if should we sign a star or sign some other pieces around our core that add defense, and both of those seem to be moves within the current NBA already. Not necessarily are we signing a free agent or are we making these moves in the draft. So for me, it's probably going to be the answer whatever best fits this plan and what's available. And by that, I mean, like you guys said, sure, there's free agents available. Are they really available, though? Or are they just about to re-sign with their teams or whatever? Are they looking for some ridiculous contracts like KD probably is? I mean, sure. Yes, we have some money, but if I get down to the brass tacks of what this is asking is, should we spend that money on one guy or could we flex that into 2 guys that aren't necessarily have that same star power, but bring a better fit and better defense to this team? And I would say, yeah, we should, because another thing that they need to address is depth. And I think San Antonio Spurs in their long runs of playoffs and championships would tell you depth is the key along with defense. And that Orlando game is a sore thumb for us right now because we weren't playing any defense. And I guess if that's the one knock on Trey, it's like, he's not going to be banging anybody down in the paint trying to block the ball, right? Because he just can't get up that high. So, yeah, we do need some defense. Like Brett said earlier, Klay Thompson would be a great fit if possible. He's in the right stage of his career. He's had plenty of experience at the highest level of basketball and won championships. He's a great defender, a plus shooter from the perimeter. I think he would just fit right in. So that would be my number one there for a guy if you're talking about that position being filled or whatever. But it's really just going to have to shake out. I'm sure they have some sort of base plan in place, but it's just going to be what it is. It's just going to have to shake out the way it does. Whatever free agents end up popping to certain places, and then, you know. Also, the other thing is, some of these free agents are in our own division. We got to find out, like, are they getting better? Are they getting worse? Will we compete more? Like Phil mentioned earlier, losing John Wall, the Wizards are not going to have him all next season. That's a big deal. What are they going to do with Beal? Are they going to try to move him, blow it up, and move on? Because they've really just destroyed any chances at this point of maximizing their opportunities to get a championship in Washington, which is fine with me. But I don't know. It just depends on the star and who those pieces would be. I don't know. Maybe if you had some names that you could give in the next question and be a little bit more specific about what pieces you thought were available that could add defense, then maybe we could be a little bit more helpful in our answer. But hopefully that kind of breaks it down a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah. You go, Brett.
Yeah, but yeah, this is kind of sort of a similar situation like you mentioned earlier with Paul Millsap. We got Paul Millsap and we signed Damari Carroll, and those two guys ended up being key pieces of a 60-win team a couple years later. So there's a couple different ways to go about this. So speaking of Damari Carroll, he is a free agent in this year, but I don't know definitely the sense of a player he used to be. But yeah, it depends on. There are two guys I would probably go after. Before I sign core guys, that's Klay Thompson and Kevin Durant, like you already said. But we can't get either one of those guys. I definitely see the better option is trying to fill out the roster of pieces that are going to help boost our defense and stuff like that. So that's the way I would go about it.
Yeah, and one last question: do we think the Hawks have a chance at Klay Thompson? I think we have as good a chance as anybody to get Klay Thompson. Honestly, got to remember that Schlenk Connect is there, and honestly, a lot of times these players have better connections with who was the assistant GM than who was the main GM. Schlenk, of course, for those who don't know, was assistant GM in Golden State for a very long time. So, they're more in the everyday, day-to-day things than the main GM, who is more, behind the computer screen trying to get things done. So I really think those kind of relationships go a long way. I wouldn't be shocked out of this world to see Klay Thompson here in Atlanta, in an Atlanta uniform. That would just be that. I mean, that is a perfect fit for both sides. I think that's just a perfect fit. I'd absolutely love to see that, and I think Klay could come here and average like 25, 30 points a game and be all NBA superstar. I really think so.
And it wouldn't take away from anyone else either. That's the key. Like, it would be, like you said, I mean, it would be a perfect fit. It would fit his game. It fits what Trey does. It fits what John's already doing. The steps forward that Alex is making, and depending on who you get in the draft, plus Herter, I mean, yeah, it gives you a good chance, and his defense is elite. So, and like you said, I mean, I think we do have as good a chance as anybody, I guess. And if he feels the same way we do about his fit and would be okay coming to the East Coast, I don't know. I think it would be a win-win for both sides.
Yeah, obviously, just like you mentioned, Phil, the Schlink connection. That's what I was saying for a while. That having Schlink here is going to give us a real chance at Klay Thompson, is even more of a real chance if Kevin Durant decides to stay in Golden State, and Klay's going to want to. I don't know if that'll actually benefit or not, but I think it would benefit us if KD stayed in Golden State. That would give Klay Thompson more reason to leave and have some more freedom and be more of a bigger role in the offense with a point guard. Of course, he's not Steph Curry or anything, and Trae Young, but still a similar skill set to Steph Curry with a passing ability and stuff like that, and ability to stretch the floor.
Are you there?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we have a chance. I mean, I don't want to be a biased fan and say we're going to get him or something, but I mean, I think we have a chance, and It might not be a huge one, but you never know. You take the risk, and I mean, you get a meeting with him, and you might be able to convince him. You might put something on the table that makes him like it a lot. And I mean, it's Atlanta. I mean, it's hard to turn down when you get a great opportunity for it, especially the team, what the situation we're in, like I've said before. So I mean, there's definitely an opportunity there, and I mean, it's one of the best opportunities we've had of signing someone with a name like that in a long time. So I think there's definitely a possibility.
You can only be patient and watch. And I mean, for me, this is the most excited I've been coming off a season. You know, I can't wait to get back to next October. I can't wait for Summer League. I can't wait for the draft. I'm nervous as hell for lottery ball night, and we still got about another month for that. But man, it's a great time to be an Atlanta sports fan. It's a great time to be a Hawks fan, and it's a great time to come join ATL Sports HQ. You know, come right for us. We got plenty to talk about. You know, if you always wanted to express your sports thoughts and never really had a place or knew how to do it, come on over. We can guide you along. You know, you don't need any kind of experience. You don't need any kind of done this before. All you have to do is have the passion and have the desire. You know, we all come here. We have fun, so we can help you. We can help you with your dreams or uh, develop a new hobby. So come join ATL Sports HQ. Hit any one of us up, and we'll get you started. So, and I definitely want to shout out, you know, everybody who's always supported us, everyone who's been rocking with us since day one. I think we're going on year 4 since we started Hawks Talk, and of course it's grown and become this beautiful thing that it is today. So definitely stay with us. And who else y'all want to shout out? Start with you, Derek.
Yeah, definitely everyone that listens every time, especially after our little break we had. I think we had a 2-week break. But we'll be back consistent again, and we'll be here every Sunday. Also, Magic also just clinched their first playoffs appearance since Dwight Howard. So shout out to Orlando.
Hey, shout out to the crowd. They were in it. They were in it Friday. What about you, Brett? Who you shouting out? You got the tractors back there. You want to shout them out?
I do got to shout out Jason Aldean. You know, he's won some awards here in ACMs. Yeah, shout out all the viewers and the listeners of the show, and I got to shout out my boys Gerald and Blake. They told me they'll be watching tonight, so I want to shout them out.
Nice. Yeah, I don't really shout out to Dwight Howard. You know, the house that Dwight built is finally going back, man. You know, and God, Orlando is such a shitty city. Good for them. They needed something in their life that they could look forward to. Anytime Atlanta United plays them, we're probably going to destroy them, so that's fine.
Nah, we're going to lose this year.
Well, now we are because I said something. No, shout out to all you guys for following and listening along. Appreciate you bringing me into the family here. It is really easy, just like Phil said. If you have a passion, you want to do it, then do it. I've never done this before, and here I am. The writing is pretty easy. You know, you can get it edited up if you want to. So just try to be a part of the team if you want to, and we're here.
And definitely be sure to be on the lookout. I promise I will have some sign-up links or something ready for Hooping with Hawks Talk Edition 2. It will happen this time. June 1st, Central Park. I believe June 1st. Maybe not June 1st. I don't know. It's coming. It's coming soon. So be on the lookout for that. Check us out. Make sure you upvote us, subscribe, like, give us 5-star on iTunes. We'll have that iTunes link coming for you sometime early this week. So tell your friends, tell your family, tell your coworkers to come check out ATL Sports HQ. Y'all have a great evening. We'll be back with you same time, same place next Sunday. Have a good night.